Srinivasan, an honor to be interviewing you
Thank you.
This episode of IIM Businessman. You are somebody who came in from the business world which had money flowing into the world which is talking about societal change. So has the transition by itself been very tough for you?
Not at all. I don't think there is a transition at all, if you ask me. Because to me, everything is very similar in terms of basic principles. It's only question of why am I doing something possibly is a little different. So that has its own objective in terms of getting people funds or managing the funds of others. At the same time, in this, I would like to use the word social enterprise. In this enterprise, it's something you are delivering something equally different, but the basic principles in terms of what you have to do, how you have to do is similar. Only the why part of it is possibly different.
Okay. And you look absolutely stress-free and happy for somebody who's been through all the rigmarole of consultation. Is it because of the change in the medium that you're working in now, or you've always been pleasant like this?
I think I just take things as it comes. And consulting, when I was there, obviously it's you are advising someone, because this is the only place where someone pays you to take advice.
Okay.
Right? Otherwise no one wants advice. Yeah. But jokes apart, yes, what's I would say is, I think if your objective is clear that you want to achieve something, the stress is not there. If you're not clear about what you want to do, possibly the stress comes, because you don't know how to go about things. So if you're very clear about why you want to do something, then it's a question of how you do it. Automatic comes. And if the objective is clear, I would say the how part of it fits in everywhere, and you take it as it comes along. Of course you need to plan and do things how we do it, but I would say yes, if you just take things as it comes, as long as you're clear what you want to do, I don't see any need for a stress at all.
So right through you're stressing on clarity.
In the college, I was part of a lot of intercollegiate quizzes, and I used to even produce programs for All India Radio, the equivalent of UO1 youth program, they used to call it then.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, interviewing a lot of people, and that gave a lot of entrepreneurship.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're talking about these kind of qualities wherein you met a lot of people at that young age, going and talking to people, interviewing them, needs a lot of confidence. So even if you don't have it, you fake it initially till you make it. But then all these exposures, now looking back, do you feel added on to how you handled your career?
Absolutely. I think it possibly comes from the freedom possibly my father gave in terms of going and doing what he wanted to do. And though we had a big family, I think he was able to support us all in education. And I think everywhere my interest used to be to do something different other than the academics alone. Even in IIM, I was running a student stores, me and my friend. So we used to be entrepreneurs those days, and we used to declare a dividend at the end of the year. Okay. So I think these are things one wanted to try it out. And I think I continue that because I can't do one thing alone. Even today I do 3-4 things, because that gives me a lot of pleasure. Not that you do, I won't advise saying when you said 3-4 things, it doesn't mean you do 3-4 businesses. No, 3-4 things, one a strong focus, and then number 2, 3 to give you the freedom to experiment with something else which you like.
Interesting. So when you spoke about the stores that you did in IIM as an alumni, now when you look back, what were your biggest takeaways? And when you're talking we, was it a group of friends or people who just came together because you had similar ideas? How did you even think about it?
I think it's a question of people coming together. So it's a question of, we had actually 2 people, 2 of us and one more supporting us. And we had a senior who started this concept actually, 1 year senior to us. So we took it upon and grew it, and we found it something very interesting, partly one because you're doing something for the community there. I think that was there possibly because of my Ramakrishna Mission background. And apart from that, I think it was a lot of fun to go and procure materials and see what is the demand. No, looking back, I think there was a lot of demand analysis and seeing what you stock, how you stock, and the money was limited, right? Because it's all money of the students. So one had to manage within that, get the right stocks, ensure that they don't get wasted, and get the best bargains.
So what kind of a store was this?
It was anything which students needed, right from toothpaste to everything. Okay. Everything we needed, so right from
campus.
In campus, it was a student store. And then we diversified it to ice cream parlor also. So there is a Vadilal brand whom we talked to, and he was willing to give it to us at 25% discount of the market price. Okay. So we opened up an ice cream parlor.
Wow, okay.
Where people just have to put money and take it whenever they want, whatever they want. So it was a trust-based, there's no one to manage that.
Okay.
So I think it was all interesting fun. As I said, at the end of the year, we gave back a dividend to everyone.
And when you did that, now when you're seeing all that, when you got into it, I'm sure you didn't think of it that tomorrow when I grow big and old, I would look back and say this. But at that point of time, every time you're giving back the dividend, what was the feeling that you were having?
I think possibly at that time it was a lot of fun, but I could see a lot of people remember it.
Okay.
See, I think at that time we said, I mean, it is, once you do something, you have to give back something. I mean, you can't just say I spent everything and made a loss. So I think that was very clear. I think that we had a clarity saying, okay, this has to be done. But we didn't look at it so seriously as such. I think it was more fun than doing it. But even today, a lot of people say, hey, you were an entrepreneur even those days, you know.
Okay.
I think so people do remember that. So then I say, oh, maybe I was, you know.
So right away, let me ask you, so what does it take to be somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur? Because you were one who got into it, now do you say by default or by choice? Then, in college.
In college?
Would you say that you became an entrepreneur by default or by choice?
No, at that time I would say by default, but possibly I would say out of interest. But I wouldn't say the word choice, because choice means you are giving up something and taking up something.
Yeah,
so it was not that, it was an extra additional interest. So I think it was partly the interest which was there, that you have to do something. Yeah.
Okay, and today when you see entrepreneurs, you are into consulting as well. So when you see entrepreneurs around you, what do you think is that one major quality that is commonly evident in all of them?
Passion.
Passion.
I think without passion, you are not an entrepreneur. Passion to do something should be there. All other things fall in. If you don't have a passion, you can have the best of ideas, best of solutions, everything, but it doesn't pan out. I think the most critical thing is that you should have a passion that I want to do something and I will do it.
Come what may.
Come what may.
Okay, so with passion, is perseverance an integral part of it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think perseverance is a very, very integral part of it, which is where, if you see, many people fall by the wayside only because they don't have the perseverance. It's a tough job. Entrepreneurship is not easy. It's a very, very tough job, and unless you have perseverance, and perseverance does not come without passion. If passion is there, perseverance normally comes. If it doesn't come, I would say maybe your passion is you're not very clear about what you want to do, or why you want to do it rather.
Okay.
I think that should be clear.
Yeah, back again to that clarity. So when you finished your IIM studies and you moved out, what is it that you were very clear about as far as your career went? Where did you want to go? And did you have any clarity then itself?
Yeah, I wanted to be in the manufacturing industry, mainly because I think I wanted to see a factory, how it works, a lot of people. So I didn't want to get into a consulting organization. Actually, my first job was in HDFC Limited when it was started. Unfortunately, I didn't think it was a great idea at that time. So I went for a manufacturing thing, and I've been in manufacturing till I joined Wipro, almost this in various chemical engineering, various factories. I used to like the way products are made, it comes out, and the people, how the workers work and managing the whole thing. That's something which gave me a lot of joy, and saying how the whole thing comes and how does it get sold to the client. Now I could see that, and that's where I wanted to be. So I think I did that, and used to be.
So you were in the manufacturing part of it, the designing part, the marketing part?
I was in always in the corporate. See, I was in the planning, finance, management, that sort of thing. But I used to take interest in visiting the factory, be in the factory.
Oh, though it was not part of
because that's what I used to like.
Okay. So as a person from the finance who used to check into all this, when you moved into another corporate like Wipro, was there a change or a shift in the way you approached your job?
Yeah, Wipro was, actually I joined the financial services, and the first job which was offered to me by Mr. Premji when he took the interview was marketing. So I took up marketing. I did marketing in Wipro. So it was again fun, except that I had to answer the finance guys this time. Earlier I used to be asking the questions.
How is the role change?
That was a big role change. Yeah, but I think it was a great thing to do. So I enjoyed my marketing stint there.
Okay, so how much more empathetic did that make you from being a finance person to move to a marketing person? Because invariably the tiff in organizations are between these two departments.
Absolutely. I think that gave me a big exposure, because even earlier I used to I try to understand, because I think one of the things I understood way back, at least the manufacturing side, when I used to ask a lot of questions, is one of the general managers of a factory, he told me, it's very easy for you to sit in Delhi and in an AC room and ask 20 questions to me. You don't think, come to Chennai to the plant, I'll answer you. So he put me next to the furnace and he answered each and every question, took his own time, 3 hours. So I understood, he said, this is the difficulty with which you go through, you better understand before you ask questions. So I think it's a question of empathy to what they do. So in marketing, I got that part, because marketing is a key role in any organization. But then I had this finance background, so I could understand why these guys were asking the question. But I think it made me a full-fledged entrepreneur, which I think actually I would say, to give credit to Wipro, it does a lot of that. To make people rotate around various functions.
So what has your biggest learning been in this transition phase from finance to marketing, and the whole learning process? Like you said, it made you well-rounded to face entrepreneurship, but your biggest learning?
Clients, I could see the clients face to face, sit with them, understand what they want. Then that tells you, oh, this is what is needed. In a finance, you can do it in a very logical manner, saying this is what we should give the client, this is what should be the pricing. Whereas when you sit with the client face to face and then see what he wants and what he wants to, how you should give it to him, how do you structure the whole thing so that you meet the objective of the company as well as of the client. I think that's why a lot of learning.
Okay, so in that case, you didn't face that much of a challenge in the transition, because normally financial people do not talk a lot.
Yeah.
That is the normal understanding, that you can look at an accounts person, they have a little interaction and you know this guy will not talk more than required. He measures even his words as much as the numbers. So you are somebody who's blended well in both those places as well. So from enterprise, which was completely on economy, you move into something which is talking about changing society. How did RuralShores happen to you, and how did that transition happen?
Yeah. One is how it happened is, again, as I said, it's a question of always knowing people. So Murli, who is the CEO now, he and I were friends, and I was helping him out in some of his ideas and all that, more as a consultant and a friend. And he had this passion and vision for this, and he is a strong domain person. So when he came and said this idea, and we are few friends, all of us had a similar thought in our thing. I think all of us had gone through corporate life, worked hard, 20 hours a day and all that, managed a lot of people, and wanting to do something different, which is why I got into consulting along with a partner. Then this was something which, the moment he said, I think let us, I mean, he of course he had all the ideas, but we then translated that in a structure. And more we looked at it, we said, yeah, we need to start a company. And that's how I just became a part of it. That's all, without, so I think it is because I think everyone wants to do something. You just need an opportunity to do the right thing with the right people. So I have been fortunate in my life to get the right people at the right time, I would say. So that's what happened. So Murli was God sent, and the others, Ram and others, just were there, and we just started this. Yes. So it's not that we want to do something social that way, because somehow I feel every organization is a social organization.
Correct.
So to say, oh, there's a good way to talk social enterprise and all that, but I would say, yes, this was something which appealed to us, to me, and as well as to all of us, because this was reaching out more people, and people who need it more than what in a city would do. And I think I had that, being a city guy all through metro, possibly the village attracted me more.
True. So that's how you got into the concept. So you were there right from the conception stage of
Yes, absolutely. From the day the first page was made.
Okay. Okay. So when you put this, you just ideated the whole concept. At that point, how did the structure fall in place?
Yeah, I think we are fortunate to have a good group of people. Like apart from both of us, Ram, who was in HGFC as a CIO, then Ranganathan was in E&Y as a partner, Sujata was an entrepreneur by herself in the same space, and Sudhakar was in Mastech. I think each of us came with a different background, and all of us, we said, if with our background, most of us are either chartered accountants or MBAs and with 25 years experience, we said if we do something, it has to be sustainable. So one thing we wanted to be very clear is, we don't want to start 1 or 2 centers and be happy, oh, I gave employment to 100 guys and put it in your personal biodata, I did something good in life. We said, if we create something, it has to be an institution. How do we create an institution? It has to sustain. So to sustain, it has to be a structure which is something which will sustain on its own, irrespective of whether we are there or not. So that can happen only in a corporate structure, which we felt is the right structure for this, because you need to sustain, for which you need funds. So which means it has to sustain itself economically. It can't just be a charitable organization. So, and I think so that is right in the beginning we thought of it.
Okay.
So there is no need to say, oh, we learned the hard way, we wanted to do charity. You know, it is not a charitable organization, it is an organization which benefits the rural youth. That we are clear, and for that whatever needed to be done, we said we'll do it. I think that has helped. Because of the corporate structure, today we are able to attract investors, attract employees. The employees also, not everyone, we don't want employees to come and do free service here. They also to be paid. Everyone has got a family.
Every business and businessman has a balance sheet that they maintain. So we're now going to your personal side of your life. And there is a balance sheet that I want you to take out now to rate yourself. So there are 3 areas that I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. And we swear we are not going to cross-check, so it's completely your self-rating. So first, as a family person, how would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
Little difficult question. Yeah, I don't rate myself very high. I think thanks to my wife I have been able to do all this, though I don't tell her this, so I hope
you will use this platform.
And definitely as a family person I think I have compromised little or more than a little. So I would rate me on a scale of 10, you said?
Yeah, 1 to 10.
1 to 10. I would rate myself less than 5, 4.
Okay, 4. Okay.
Though my daughter
you can be at peace, because today 33% is passed. So we still stand by that, we follow that. So you passed. And as a friend?
As a friend, I think definitely 7 out of 10.
7? Wow. Okay. And as a change agent?
Maybe still not long way to go. Still 7, 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that's something which goes with what I do everywhere, saying what change you make in anything. So I think that I would possibly put a little higher, at least in my perception. I don't know how others perceive.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, we won't cross check. It's your rating. So 7 on 10?
7.
8 on 10?
7. Let it be conservative, 7 on 10.
Okay. You are an IIM alumni. And is there any strong message that you want to send across to all the students who will be watching you, listening to you, and everybody else as your parting thought in this conversation?
Yeah. I think don't be too overawed by the huge salaries you get, but go by what exactly is the thing which you want to do and go for that. Because today I find, maybe I'm wrong, I know there is a set of people who are not like that, but a majority are running after big money. And unfortunately our media, society, everyone says, oh, so and so got so much money and all that. In my view, that possibly takes you away from happiness in the long run. It's good in the short run, but in the long run you need to do what you want to do. Yes, it's okay if you go after big money in the initial 5 years, 10 years, but after that somewhere get out of that race and do something which you like. I don't know, in first 5-10 years maybe you'll have to build a wealth, do that. But after building that wealth, go after what you want to do. So be clear about what you want to do and why you want to do it. And if that is part is clear, I think you'll have the happiness and peace of mind all through.
A man who clearly is following your heart. And Mr. Srinivasan, it was a pleasure talking to you. And the message strongly across, to just follow your heart, you will be very happy. Thank you so much for being part of I Am a Businessman.
Thank you.